Hi everybody. I apologize in advance. My next door neighbor's been running the chainsaw off and on all day today. So if you hear that in the background, again, I apologize. I bought GameMaker Studio 1.4 when it was offered as a humble bundle deal. I like how GameMaker simplifies a lot of the tasks I never enjoyed, mainly designing graphics. This is not a GameMaker tutorial, but I will briefly go over some important points. Links to the companies and products I mention can be found in the comments. GameMaker includes many useful built-in functions, and you can also create your own custom scripts and functions. I'll go over the individual scripts as we encounter them. The GERmulator project uses just one room. A room is where GameMaker objects are placed. I'll talk more about GameMaker objects in a moment. The room attributes determine the application window size, the speed of the application measured in steps, more on that later, backgrounds, and so on. The GERmulator 8800, 8080 CPU, and GERterm panels are created with a room background. I'd hoped to resize the application window when the 8080 CPU and GERterm were turned off and on, but I haven't figured out how to do that in GameMaker. Most objects have images associated with them. In GameMaker, they're called sprites. A sprite can be a single static image or an animated series of images. The GameMaker Sprite Editor is functional and intuitive. To display text in GameMaker, you must create a font. When creating a font, you specify the font, type size, and character set. Numbers only, for example. I used a proportional font for the CPU and power-off countdown displays and a fixed pitch font for the terminal display. The sounds I use in my projects mostly come from internet searches for royalty-free or public domain something or other. Audacity is an easy-to-use audio editing tool. Besides cutting and splicing audio tracks, the many effects make it possible to equalize, adjust volume or speed, and apply many special effects like echo and reverb. As with everything else in GameMaker, you create a sound object for each individual sound. Sounds may be played once or looped. GameMaker objects have attributes like name, sprite object, parent object, and so on. They have events like create, destroy, alarm, step, and more. Events have actions. I rarely use the built-in GameMaker actions and use the execute code action almost exclusively. I took advantage of object inheritance in this project. A good example of this is the toggle switch objects. Most toggle switches have a default state and if it has been selected, like by mousing over it in this case. It may also have front panel text. Every child of the parent toggle switch may inherit, change, or extend any of these settings. You can see the difference between the on-off switch, where clicking it just toggles the state, and the momentary on-off switch. The switch state is on as long as you hold the mouse click. Another way I use object inheritance is in room creation code. Besides placing objects in a room, the room editor lets you create code that is run when this instance of the object is created. This differs from the object's creation event, which is common to all objects of that type. This is how I set a unique value for a duplicated object. For example, the data display LED's room creation code for each LED sets the panel text labels and bit number for this LED. The bit number is used in the draw event that is common to all data display LEDs. Well, this episode is starting to get long, so I'm going to wrap it up here. In the next episode, I'll continue with the hardware objects, 8080 assembly language, and building a serial monitor. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And as always, thanks for watching.